Hey guys, so I just updated my Legion Go bias to Beta in 28. This version is not published yet on the Legion Go support page, but thanks to user Tabris XI from Legion Go subreddit for sharing it with us. According to them, it has been handed out by LENOVO Chinese testing team. Looks like they usually test versions prior to publishing them on website, which sounds about right. But despite all of that, I still recommend that you stick to official versions for maximum compatibility and optimization. Also because version N28 should be released within 2 weeks, possibly by beginning of December. But I installed it early to experiment with latest features and attentions in order to give you guys a glimpse of what's coming ahead. So we're going to see together what's new in this version. But before that, I'm happy to announce that Tekosor has just reached 1000 subscribers, and it would have not been possible if it wasn't for your support. I deeply thank you for supporting this channel, and I'll do my best to make a content that's fun and useful for you all. So back to our topic. This version has a 6G option for dedicated GPU memory, just like the previous Beta bias version in 25. And it also has a new option called increased external compatibility, which in theory should give better compatibility for the two Type-C ports. I've yet to find an incompatible device. If you are aware of one, please write its name in the comments so I may try to see if it's going to work in this bias version. Now, in addition to that, it's also possible now to change the thermal policy between STT and stamp standards. This one sounds interesting, and I'll make sure to test it out as soon as possible and even dedicate a video for it. So stay tuned for that. However, our main topic of this video is yet another new feature called Maximum Memory Data Clock Speed. Basically, with this one, you can now select two different speeds for the memory, between 6400 and 7500 MTS. The current default is 7500. So they implemented a slower memory speed option. Now you may wonder, just like me, why will they do that? But I think the comparisons we're about to see could have the answer. So I'm going to compare both options in 10 of your favorite games in two different power scenarios, with first the Legion Go being plugged into a power source with TDP of 30 watt, and second is unplugged and using battery instead at a TDP of 15 watt, in order to understand the behavior better. So with that being said, let's just get started with our first game. So here we are. As we have seen, at 30 watt we got best performance result at 7500, with 6400 just a tad behind. But when we lowered TDP to 15 watt running on battery, we saw a dramatic drop for the 7500, making it come last in chart with 6400 performing better this time. The reason for that, when we had 15 watt TDP and 7500 MTS for memory, both CPU and GPU clock speeds were lower comparing to when we had 6400 set. I think the reason could be that memory requires significantly more power at 7500, and when we lowered TDP to 15 watt, it started to eat from the APU power, causing lower CPU and GPU clocks and thus having lower FPS and worse frame times. So the point is, if you are using gate connected to power, it's always better to keep memory speed at 7500 MTS. But if you are going to carry it around and naturally would have to choose, for example, the balanced power plan for maximizing battery life, going with memory speed of 6400 MTS is the better option to not lose CPU and GPU clocks, which in return would have some negative impact on performance. So that was it for this video. I hope it was useful. Remember that I'll be testing next the thermal policy between STT and Stamp. So please subscribe to be updated. As always, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.